Why is Hermione Lodge suddenly the worst mom on Riverdale? Riverdale, like all great teen shows before it, spends nearly as much time with the parents as it does with the high school students. You can never think about Gossip Girl, for example, without remembering Rufus and Lily's tortured love story, or rewatch The OC without looking forward to Sandy Cohen's delightful speeches. Some of the Riverdale parents are still finding their footing. Hal Cooper, I'm looking at you. But many of them are at least semi-competent, or were at one time. In Season 2, however, some of the better parents have taken a turn for the worst, with no explanation whatsoever. This is most true for Veronica's mom Hermione Lodge, who went from friendly possible criminal to straight-up witch in the span of 3 episodes. Season 1 Hermione probably wouldn't have won any Riverdale Mom of the Year competitions. We all know Alice Cooper would have rigged it anyway, but she did seem to genuinely care about Veronica. She took a waitressing job at Pops so she wouldn't have to use Hiram's ill-gotten prison money for them to eat, and she was genuinely likable enough that noted overly nice person Fred Andrews wanted to date her. Yes, she engaged in some shady business dealings, but she also at least tried to stop Veronica from going clubbing on a school night. She also gave Alice Cooper great advice about not shutting Polly out even though she disapproved of the whole having her cousin's baby situation. And when she did tell lies, she usually admitted to them later. That gray area is gone now, though, and Hermione has suddenly transformed into Julie Cooper on steroids. In the season premiere, she got mad at Hermione for opening a bottle of crystal she'd been saving for Hiram's return home and letting Archie sleep over, which seems slightly out of character given her previous disregard for stern discipline. By the time Hiram showed up at the Pembroke, it was like Hermione was cosplaying as a mob wife. She tattled about the crystal to Hiram and stood menacingly next to him while he accused Veronica of disrespect. In Chapter 15, Nighthawks, Hermione told Veronica that she wrote that threatening letter to cover up for Hiram, when actually he wrote it. She also didn't tell Veronica that Hiram had purchased Pops even though Veronica asked for total transparency, and instead reacted to that news by saying, "Nice to have you back, Hiram." In Chapter 16, The Watcher in the Woods, Hermione tries to stop Veronica from entering Hiram's study because of the rules, which apparently exist now despite the fact that she used to let Veronica go out on school nights. She also tries to discourage Veronica from having Archie over for family dinner, because as she puts it, "No need to be so thirsty, Veronica." What mother says that to her daughter about the completely reasonable proposition of having her dad meet her boyfriend? She then says that this dinner would be playing with fire but gives no real reason for her fears. Also, why is it always dark in the apartment? The shift in Hermione's bad behavior may seem like bad or inconsistent writing, but it's likely intentional, and if you want to figure out who shot Fred Andrews, you have to pay attention to everything. The most obvious explanation for her new attitude is the return of Hiram. She's clearly afraid of him, and it seems possible that he's physically or emotionally abused her in the past. If that's the case, why wasn't she as determined as Veronica was in Season 1 to keep him in prison? Is it possible Hiram was also sending threatening letters to Hermione, warning her to get their daughter in line or Veronica would pay the price? That would explain Hermione forging Veronica's signature. Does Hiram have a secret on Hermione, something she'd never want Ronnie, or Fred, to find out? The nagging hole in this explanation is that there are times when it seems like Hermione is being mean just for the hell of it, like when she mocked Veronica for not being invited for a rum drink with Archie and Hiram. "Poor little princess," she said. "The king will always keep her at arm's length. She'll never be allowed in his private room." It's possible in those instances that the writers are planting a red herring or just having too much fun writing villain dialogue. It's also possible Hermione was drunk. Whatever explains her shift in behavior, she's not the only parent who's undergone a major personality change this season. Fred Andrews has lost his overprotective dad vibe and has somehow not noticed that Archie is staying up all night holding a baseball bat while founding a high school vigilante squad. And Alice Cooper is nice now? Someone alert the staff of the Blue and Gold, because Riverdale High's got another mystery on its hands. Follow Eliza on Twitter and Cosmos